Hello, welcome to the QMS channel. This is Tracy Ryan. Today I'm going to tell you what it is and what it's for. ISO 20000-1. Before I start, I'm going to ask you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate that little bell to receive notifications when we go live and have new content here on our channel. Well, today we're going to talk about ISO 20000-1, which is an information technology service management system. Little known in the national market, but it deserves to be known by you who are here in this video with me. It's a specific standard for information technology services, so this is an important point that we're going to align. And as it's a specific standard, it's a very tough standard for IT companies. Companies that develop and make software, software houses, and companies that have their IT service, whether it's embedded in a platform, companies that are consultancy providers for digital platforms such as Microsoft, Salesforce, and other Oracle and other platforms. Anyway, it's a standard for anyone working with IT. In my view, it's a mandatory standard to be aware of. So here we go. ISO 20000-1 Outlined 1. It's a standard that also complies with Annex SL, which is I, and takes the structure, that is high-level structure for all ISO standards for management systems. So it has a structure similar to ISO 9001, similar to ISO 37001, similar to ISO 27001, specifically dealing with the requirements, elements 4 to 10, with their requirements interrelationships. ISO 20000-1 has outlined it. It provides information technology companies with an excellent working framework. In other words, it's a recipe for work processes for an information technology company, a company that provides information technology services. So, within this standard and following a structure, following a step-by-step, mainly in Section 8 of the standard, where it deals with the operation, the step-by-step for organizations to follow, from an understanding the customer's request, from transforming the customer's request into a project, from monitoring the project, the indicators, the specific controls. So this whole structure of ISO 20000-1 Trait 1 brings certified companies 1. In my view, an excellent management gain. That's why the standard is called Service Management Systems, Information Technology. So it serves to help companies that provide an information technology service to establish a well-structured process. Here, for example, we have so-called ISO 9001 certified IT companies. But I'm going to make a controversial statement that, in my view, these companies should not be certified to the ISO 9001 quality management system. These companies should be certified, they should implement ISO 20000-1 internally, and they should draw up a why, because ISO 20000-1 has. It's the quality management standard for information technology service companies. Yes, but there is a myth in the market that the standard is very complex. That's just a myth. Why is that? Because this standard is little known in the market in general. It's little talked about, it's little known. That's one. So it's a company and a standard that is little known in the market. There are few professionals who have worked with it, consequently few professionals who offer consultancy services, few professionals who work in IT companies who are familiar with ISO 20000-1. So it's becoming more and more of a myth that it's difficult to implement. So sometimes the company opts for ISO 9001. On the other hand, we have companies that are also certified here, with certification of 9, certification of 20 out of 27, for example. That's a great point. So it serves precisely to bring a defined process to information technology companies. One of the great benefits I see in the standard is precisely that it brings a much higher level of maturity to information technology companies. Of course, IT companies already have a whole work structure, but when ISO 20000-1 is implemented, it sets the bar absurdly high. So we see this in practice. When we audit the company in the certification audit, when we come back after a year in the maintenance audits. So that's a very interesting point for you to be aware of. Then ISO 20000-1 brings another point that I think is magnificent In ISO 20000-1 brings sound. It's the easy integration of ISO 20000-1 ultrasound with other ISO management system standards. For me, this is a great benefit, even more so with the family of information security standards. ISO 27001 and other information security standards. So this is a crucial point. There are several companies here in QMS that are certified to ISO 20000-1, ISO 27001, and ISO 27701. So these three standards are what we call technical standards in the technology area. It's widely used, and there's a new ISO 42001 coming, but that's a subject for another video. If you want to access more content about ISO 42001, which is about artificial intelligence, click on this card above. Well, that's an interesting point. The integration of ISO 20000-1 with the other technology standards that we call ISO 27001, ISO 27701, and ISO 42001. Why? Because they are similar ISO technical groups, and the members circulate between these groups and obviously end up having the same vision of standards for all of them. So that's an important point from ISO 20000-1 to ISO 27001, ISO 27701, and ISO 42001, the youngest of the bunch, which is artificial intelligence. So these standards specifically are well integrated with each other. Of course, ISO 20000-1 is also integrated with 9, 14, and 45, but that's what I'm talking about here. So for me, these 2 points are fundamental in the integration between standards, and they help organizations a lot. Another major benefit is the market differentiation of an IT company in relation to its competitors. So if you're watching this video to find out more about ISO 20000-1, it's certainly an excellent differentiator for your company or the company you work for, because it shows that your company is better managed than others. At the end of the day, that's what certification is all about. Market demonstration of an internal practice. In the case of ISO 20000-1, it outlined an information technology service management practice. Before I leave, I'm going to ask you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and put down here what else you know about ISO 20000-1. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.